A well-curated home takes time. Often it can take years to find the right pieces, and even longer still to find them at the right prices. Patience is key. Perseverance and determination are required. This week, I was finally able to find some of the pieces that have been on my wish list at a price that was well within my budget. And in today's video, I'll be sharing each of them with you and showing you how I style them throughout our home. Each one will add just one more layer of cozy charm to our cottage style home. And by the end of this video, I hope that you'll be left with a renewed sense of hope that the pieces you are looking for are out there. They're just waiting for you to find them. I've been searching for a set of brass candle holders to put on either side of the kitchen window for, I would say, the last 6 months. And I haven't been able to find anything that was the right style or the right price. But finally, on Monday, I was able to score a pair of these. I found them at an antique store down the road from the stables where my daughter is having riding lessons right now. And I thought they were so cute, and I think they're going to be perfect. They have this flat surface right here, so what I think I'm going to do to hang them is use this adhesive tape that I have from 3M. I don't remember the weight that it holds, but these don't weigh very much, so I'm thinking that if I just cut a small piece to go right here, it should stick to the side of the cabinet just fine. I don't want to put any screws or nails in here if at all possible, and I'm only going to use a battery operated candle to put in it, so it's not going to be too terribly heavy, so I think that's going to work. But I just thought these were so sweet. They're not terribly ornate, but they're still really elegant, really pretty, and I think they're going to give that cottage feel that I'm going for in here so beautifully. next piece that I was so excited to find, something that I've been looking for even longer than those candle holders that we just put up, was this ice bucket or champagne bucket. whatever you want to call it. I have been looking for one of these for over a year now, it seems, and every time I would find one that I really liked, they were way out of my price range. They were upwards of $70 or $80, if not more. And I found this one at the same time that I found those brass candle holders for $21. I thought that was more than a fair price. It is a good size, it's heavy. I love it so much. I cannot wait to decorate with this. I'm thinking I'm going to redo everything on the piano in the living room and kind of center it around this. Now, what am I going to put in it? Give me a second. So Michael's had a special going on for these bundles of little miniature tulips. And I had a $5 voucher coupon that I needed to take advantage of, and each one of these was $1.99 a piece. And I got 5 of them, so doing the math, that was about $10 for all 5, minus my $5 voucher, so that was $5. And then I had an additional coupon I was able to use for my entire purchase. So I want to say all in, I paid about $3.75 for all 5 of these. So I thought that was a great deal, and I think they're going to be really pretty displayed in here on the piano. What do y'all think? Have you ever redone an entire piece of furniture, like all the decor on it, just centered around one new item? I've been known to do that before, and I think this is going to be so darn pretty. So this next one, guys, is a piece that I am so excited about. I have been searching high and low for a large piece of artwork to hang above our sofa on the board and batten. So kind of halfway on the wall, halfway on the board and batten, kind of bridging the gap between the two, if you will. And I found this one at an antique store 30 miles away from the stables where my daughter was having her riding camp, and it was hanging up in the back of the shop. It didn't have a price tag on it. I had taken it off of the nail that it was hanging on to look all around it to see if I could find a tag. There was nothing. So it was pretty far of a walk. This was a big place from the cashier's desk to where this was hanging. So I took a picture of it on my phone, walked myself back up to the front of the shop, and asked the girls that were up there, hey, do y'all know, is this for sale? Was it just for display? What was the story? And it turns out that the owner was up there as well. And so she was like, well, let's text her and see if she, texts us back. They texted her, gave her like 5 minutes. She never texted back. And then they said, we'll give her a call. So they call her, no answer, no nothing. And the owner knows that I'm sort of needing to get out of there, but that I really want this piece. And so she looks at me and she's like, you know what? I'm the owner of this store and I'm going to make an executive decision. Would you take $24 for it? And of course I was like, sold. If that is the price, absolutely it is sold. So I was able to take this piece home with this really big pretty frame for $24. I am thinking about maybe rub and buffing it a little bit, maybe later on. I'm not entirely crazy about this detail right here in between the kind of scalloped detail and then this right here. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is. But isn't it so pretty? I've already kind of played with it and I know exactly where it's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and put in 2 screws, 2 really long screws, so that it will actually be at the screws will be at the same depth as the top of the board and batten, so that it doesn't hang kind of at an awkward angle. It should hang pretty flush on the wall. So I'm gonna use 2 screws just to kind of even it out. It's not to evenly distribute the weight. It's not a very heavy piece necessarily. It's not light either, but I think 2 screws mounted into the wall should be just enough to keep it secure. I ended up deciding to screw a 2x2 scrap piece of wood into the stud of the wall and then hanging the frame off of that. At the end of the day, I just felt more comfortable with it hanging that way as opposed to the 2 long screws directly into the wall. So yesterday I went into another new antique store that I'd never been to before, and I ended up getting literally a box full of goodies, starting with this pretty tapestry pillow. Isn't that sweet? So prior to that, I had ordered a set of these green velvet pillow covers from Amazon. Let me go get them. In this shade of green, and I couldn't believe how perfect they look together. I mean, how amazing did that work out? So these will go on the sofa. I've already got one of the green pillows over there right now. I've already covered one of them, but I thought I would save this one to show you guys in the video. And then I found this basket. Look at this really sweet blue and white detail on the handle. I'm not sure that I've ever seen one like this before with that ceramic handle on it. So I had to get it. I just think it's gonna be the sweetest little cottage detail. I'm either gonna put it on the table by the mantle right by the front door. I've got my duck, my big ceramic duck there right now, but it'll either go there or it's gonna go on the little round table in between my grandma's 2 chairs. But I just thought this was the sweetest little basket, and I think this was like $8. And then guys, this is quite possibly my favorite thing that I found this last week. Y'all, is that not precious? I am debating where to put it. I think it's gonna go in the laundry room. I'm getting ready to make a couple of updates in there over the next few weeks, and I think this is gonna go in there. Isn't that adorable? This was $5. There was no way I was gonna leave it. I had to take it home with me. She's gonna need a name though. She's gonna need a name. Y'all be thinking about it, and if you figure out a good name, put it in the comments section. I would love to hear your ideas, but it's just the sweetest little almost storybook cottage little duck. I mean, it would be really cute in a nursery, but that ship has sailed over here. So I'm thinking laundry room is the most likely ending spot for her. And then, I'll show you that last. The last thing I got at that store was a brass lantern for $6. One of these. This is probably either going to go on the coffee table or on that same table by the entry, by the front door. This was, I think I said $6. Pretty sure that's what it was. And then a couple of weeks ago at the thrift store, I haven't showed this to you guys yet, for $1.99 I found this little box, wood box, that holds 2 decks of playing cards. So the playing cards had never been opened before, and they were Dollar General specials, it looks like. I thought the box looked pretty darn vintage to me, and I just thought it was the cutest little box. So it's been sitting on our coffee table, and in the evening times the girls and I have been playing cards. I taught them how to play War. So I don't know if you guys have played that before, but I played it all the time with my grandparents, where basically you just deal out the entire deck of cards between you and one other player, and then you just keep flipping over your top card, and whoever has the highest one wins and takes those cards, and then whoever ends up with the entire deck of cards at the end wins the game. So we've been enjoying that, and of course playing, you know, good old goldfish and stuff like that. Go fish. Why did that sound like goldfish? Y'all know what I mean. Anyhow, so it's been fun to have this out on the coffee table, and it's a good way to just kind of turn the TV off and just play a good old-fashioned game of cards and relax. Of everything that I ended up styling in this week's video, this part is the only part that I'm just not sure of. Our homes are living, breathing things, and I'm constantly changing things here and there. But the decor on this vintage sewing table by our front door will probably get tweaked a bit sooner rather than later. I just can't seem to get it right. I know for sure that I want the ceramic duck to stay here, but I'm honestly wishy-washy on the rest of it. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. I do plan to add just a bit of Easter decor in the next week or so I may wait until then to change anything if I decide to. But that's the beauty of decorating. Nothing ever has to stay the same. Everything can constantly evolve.